Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. Today I want to talk to you about pressure. I want to tell you a story where this was a time in my life where I felt extreme pressure. I was in a situation where I had to perform, or it was going to be very expensive. I was going to have very severe consequences. And the reason why I want to bring this up is I'm starting to feel a little bit like that right now on a smaller scale. This will help you in your own life if you've got ambitious targets, you're trying to hit them. Sometimes adding in a little bit of pressure can really help. Okay, so here's the story. It was 2013. I had just done my first international retreat in Fiji. I went to the Radisson Blu. I had about 50 people there. It was like a 7-day, 6-night, all-inclusive experience. So early 2013. I just got that done. I was excited, I felt good about it, but now it was time to take things to the next level. So I decided my next destination was going to be Mexico, Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I had the very fun job of flying there, getting to stay at about 6 or 7 different resorts completely free because they knew that I was going to bring in a big group. So they put me up in some of them in the President Suite. It was a very nice job. Often they would pay for all the food. So I would go there, stay there for a couple nights and decide, did I want to choose this venue for my next big event? So after I stayed in all these resorts, I picked my favorite one. It's the Sheraton. And I decided, okay, I want to move forward with this. I tell my event planners and they say, how many rooms do you want to do? There's over 200 rooms in this resort. How big do you think your event is? Now, me being at that stage in my life, I was very ambitious and my mind worked in a way where I would tell myself, let's pick this enormous, ambitious target and then I'll work out the details later. So I say, okay, I want to do maybe about 150, 175 rooms. I think I can do that, no problem. So they send me the contract and I sign it. Now I've got a deadline in place and now I have to fill these rooms. Whether I fill these rooms or not, I have to pay for this. Now the amount that I was paying, I don't remember the exact figure, but I remember it being close to around $250,000, close to $250,000. Now that wasn't just for the hotel, that was for flights to bring in speakers. I had a lot of different speakers coming in. That was for a lot of things, but this represented an enormous amount of money and I had to fill this place up. If I didn't fill it up, too bad, I still had to pay. Now as September got closer, I started to realize that a lot of people were deferring coming. I'd sold all these tickets, but they wanted to defer. They wanted to go to 2014 or 2015. So I realized that I was going to fall short by a lot. I wasn't even half full at this stage, and this was just a couple months in advance. And so I was scared. I was nervous about that. I thought, if I don't come through here, I'm going to lose over $100,000. I'm going to have to pay this hotel and I can't get out of it. So I started to get really creative. I started to come up with all kinds of different crazy solutions about how I was going to entice people to get to Mexico and not defer. And I came up with all kinds of different irresistible offers. And every single day leading up to that September 2013, for several months, that was my only focus in life, filling up that hotel. Now I remember in the week before it, even with that shorter notice, I was still getting people to book flights and figuring out ways to get people to come. Now I remember flying into Cabo, getting to the hotel. I was there for about a week before and then everyone started coming in. Long story short, I filled up my room allocation. I also had to get creative in myself, staying there for about 4 weeks to use up a lot of my room nights. And I created a 3-week program after that event, which I had several people staying there. So each one was using up 21 room nights. So that filled up, 120 or something room nights. So that helped me fill up my room block. But the moral of the story is that extreme pressure, even though it wasn't comfortable when I was going through it, if I didn't have that pressure, that deadline, I wouldn't have been able to perform. I wouldn't have been able to meet that target. Now, right now, I have my very first live event for Strive, January 19th. So that's coming up in just over 3 weeks. Now, as of right now, I'm a little bit short on meeting my target. I have a few people coming, But I've got a lot of obstacles in front of me right now. A lot of people don't want to travel because of COVID, which is understandable. A lot of people are wanting to defer. They're wanting to put it off until, say, mid-2021, when we have a little bit more peace of mind about the whole flight situation and what's going on with this pandemic. So there's a lot of obstacles in front of me. And the pressure is nowhere near as enormous as it was back in 2013. I'm not going to lose a very large amount of money or anything like that. But my point is, often creating these situations where we don't always know how we're going to meet the target, but there's a big consequence if we don't meet the target and there's a deadline. Often that is what is required to get you to perform at a higher level. I know that for myself. If I didn't have a deadline, if I didn't have consequences in place, I wouldn't be able to perform. I wouldn't be able to meet my target. So the question then becomes, how do you engineer your own environment so that you have those two things? So you have consequences, you have a deadline, and that is you just purposely designing this environment, which isn't easy because naturally we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where there are consequences, where we are potentially going to lose money. It takes a bit of courage, but if you're willing to do it, then I promise you, your performance level will rise dramatically. So will your output, you'll get more results, you'll gain more confidence, you'll get more momentum behind you. This works. I've been doing it a long time, it works. And that's why I designed the 10-day challenge. The 10-day challenge is all about you doing this exact thing. For 10 days, you pick your targets. What are these 3 main goals in your life you want to focus on for the next 10 days? What are the action steps going to be? What are you going to do every day? So for example, if you want to get in shape in the next 10 days, well, what do you need to do? You need to start going to the gym every single day. So you pick your targets, you then post proof that you are doing your daily action steps. You tell that to your accountability mentor, you tell that to our Strive community, and we help keep you accountable. But we create this environment together that gets you to perform and gets you to lift your game. So if you want to get access to that, it's completely free. All you have to do is go to changeyourlifein10days.com. Enroll right now. It's going to take you 2 minutes. If you enroll and if you complete these 10 days, I promise you, the results that you get, if you take this seriously, it will just astound you. You will be shocked at what kind of progress you're able to make in such a short amount of time. Try it out right now, changeyourlifein10days.com. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.